So the IEC in Limpopo has asked for the National Office to intervene as Thulamela Municipality struggles to capture all the votes. This is due to infrastructure and connectivity issues, which is affecting the finalization of the results. Our reporter Heidi Giokos is at the IEC Results Center in Polokwane, and she joins me now. Very good evening, Heidi. Are those problems still persisting?
Yes, it seems as though those problems are still persisting, with certain areas here in Limpopo unable to fully capture those results because of connectivity issues. We do know that the IEC here in the province has asked National to intervene as it seems as though those connectivity issues are just not being sorted out. We do know that the IEC in Limpopo suggested that those results in Thulamela be taken 70 kilometers out of that area to another area where there are connectivity, where there is connectivity, but the political parties did not agree. But overall, we do know that the ANC remains dominant here in Limpopo, and we are joined by the ANC chairperson in the province as well as the Premier, Mr. Stan Matavata. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Let's just start off with the fact that we know that the ANC has been leading, it's been doing quite well, but we do know that there are two hung municipalities.
Yes, there are two hung municipalities, but what we like about it is that, look, where there are hung municipalities, but the key factor there is that the ANC won the majority seats in those municipalities, both of them. In Municipal we won 11 seats, and the opposition combined, the four of them, EFF, DA, is three of them, and the Freedom Front. They've got 12, which therefore says the ANC is still in the majority in that area. And then you go to Mudimule, the same thing applies. In Mudimule, we've got I think it's 13, if not 11. Maybe I'm mixing the 2 years, but all in all, what I'm trying to say is that we are the leading party in both municipalities. In Mudimule Mokopo, there's no ways in which they can form an administration there without the ANC. Nobody can form the administration without the ANC, because we've got 50% seats there. Anyone who has to form an administration in that municipality must talk to the ANC. And then the ANC, if they want to establish an administration in the municipality, we just need to talk to one of them, not all.
So who will you be talking to? You say one of them. Who will those one be?
No, we'll be guided by our national office. Then the National Executive Committee will guide us in terms of the guidelines as to who can we talk to and what would be the criteria used.
Okay. Speak to us about some of the issues, though, that remain persistent on the ground in many of these areas. We do know during the campaign it was building better communities together, but many of these communities are still struggling with basic service delivery, and hopefully this is going to be addressed as the ANC remains in power in this province.
You know, sometimes this issue of basic service delivery is being over-exaggerated, more especially in the media. I was listening to Professor Sutcliffe this morning on radio. He was explaining and unpacking this thing. He was actually saying that there is no party in the world that delivered that the ANC did in 27 years. You go to New York, you go anywhere, there is no party that under the similar conditions that we find the African National Congress that delivered like we did. Nowhere in the world where you get free houses, nowhere in the world where you get free electricity, even in big cities like New York. That's what he was saying. And because I've been an ambassador also and I studied abroad, I know that you're telling the truth. So this issue of basic service delivery, I think, is being over-exaggerated in many instances. You find that people don't have jobs, but they have got their children are going to school free of charge. Their children are getting free meals at school. They've got free pensions. They've got free electricity to a certain extent. They've got free water to a certain level. You know, it's not like there is no service delivery at all.
But a lot of I hear what you're saying, but a lot of the areas don't have water, which is a basic human right. I'm talking about water. I'm not talking about free houses. What's the point of having a free house if you're not going to have running water?
Let's understand what you mean by a lot. If 84% of the population in this province has got water, 25% or 26% doesn't have water, is it a lot? What is a lot
okay, let's agree to disagree on that, because I mean our coverage across the province in the last.
I do agree with you that even if it was one, it must be a serious concern to us, because water is a basic right. You know, water is a basic right. I do agree with you, but let's not over-exaggerate it as if nothing is being done. Remember, it's only 27 years. Let's go back, rewind 27 years back, and look for the percentage. How many people did have running water in rural areas? In the villages where I grew up, 24 years, 27 years back, there was nothing. But today, I can assure you that almost 84% of people in rural areas do have water.
Okay, Premier, let's move over to the fact that one of your top ANC officials in the province has been asked to step aside. That, of course, must have been a challenge, especially leading up to the local government elections. We are speaking about Daniel Msiza, who is the Treasurer General for the ANC in the province and has been implicated in VBS.
You know, that was a very serious setback to the provincial government, I mean the party in Limpopo, the African National Congress in Limpopo. You don't want to have your senior official being accused with such serious accusations. And at the same time, he was one of the most critical component of our team. Remember, he was a treasurer. He is, in fact, a provincial treasurer. Now, if you go to elections and you say, provincial treasurer, step aside, you can't participate when we go to election, it's like taking away one of your very important human resources, you know, when you're going into the battlefield. Like earlier on, I was saying, it's like taking one of your best midfielder and say, stay aside when you are going for a cup final. So it was really a very serious setback, but we hope it will be resolved soon.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. That is the chairperson of the ANC in the province, Stan Matabata, as well as the Premier, just giving us a roundup of how the ANC has performed in this province. As I mentioned, a very strong hold of the ANC here in Limpopo, and also speaking about issues around service delivery and basic services and how much the ANC has done in this province in the last 27 years.
All right, Heidi, thank you so much for that coverage. Interesting stuff, and we hope that, you know what, those glitches can be fixed and you can move to an area where there is connectivity so the job can be done.